I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is September 5th, Thursday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. So, NFP today, and this is the anniversary of this channel for 2 years to the date. And in honor of that, what we're going to do is allow, if you guys want to ask some questions, feel free in the video. If you want to email it, feel free. And then what I'll do is I'm going to cover it tomorrow. So if you have if you're struggling with something, if it's, I don't know, entries, exits, analysis, whatever it is, psychology even, feel free. So there's an open floor for me covering it tomorrow. If you don't write nothing, if I don't get nothing, then we won't do nothing. All right, so that'll be that. And then in celebration of the 2-year anniversary, I'm going to celebrate with this fucking trade right here, baby. So, huge trade for me. This is definitely top 5 trades in my career for sure. Even maybe top 3. And close it away $20 away from 24 grand. So a lot to discuss in this video real quick. I'll try to make it short, but man, there's so much to talk about. But to keep it simple, yesterday when you have to watch yesterday's video so it makes sense. I didn't really have a bias, but I did say that I felt like we should come lower. Now, here's the thing. We did come lower since yesterday, right? Since that high that we hit at that gap. If you're following, then you know. But remember, I was like, we didn't hit that low, that weekly low, and I thought that was suspect to begin with. So anyways, what did you do? You got some lower lows and lower highs here, right? And then we had a finale here at the 830. The 815 when NFP came out, right? 815 pushes down the price here at about 825. Then we get pushed back up, and then it was pretty much order flow going back up, but to rip all of that liquidity. So for me, I started at 10 o'clock today because, number one, I don't involve myself before 8:50, period, 8:50 a.m., but specifically, preferably, before even 9:30. So, like, I don't even want to be involved before 9:30. And we have news. So we had news at 8:15. We had news at 8:30, I believe. And then we had news at 10 o'clock. So for me, I want to show up at 10 o'clock, right? I want to be ready at 10 o'clock. So, and the reason why for that, I don't want to be on the wrong side of the market. I don't want to be chasing, the wrong direction. They're injecting liquidity levels so they can then turn around and take them. So why do I want to be a part of that fuckery? There's no reason. There's plenty of moves afterwards. So that being the case, you'll see the opening day gap is being referenced pretty nicely already. So is the midnight level of right there. As you can see that, the midnight level in the background, and this is the gap today, very small. But that being the case, so when we are here at 9:30, right? So we make the lows and we push back up. So in a sense, this could be a shift, but at the same time, this just could be a lower high. And sure enough, when we came all the way back down, we get back into this down candle. You do see respect there. It didn't blow through. And we are sitting at the 50% again of the daily imbalance that we're sitting in, which is obviously, is the August 13th. So when we're hitting that level, this is showing sort of support. And then as you can see, we're coming up above the gap. We're sitting on the gap and 25%. So let me kind of maybe move this out a little bit. So as you see here, we're the 25%, the quad level of the daily imbalance in the background. That's 50%, right? The 25%, you can see that we're respecting that level right there. And we literally open, like 9:30 is literally like on that same level of 25%, as you can see that. So don't mind all these little red lines. I'm going to get to that in a second. And then anyways, what do? Well, 9:30 opens up, right? We got the opening range gap. So we're already... We're pushing up. We hit 50%. We keep going above 50%. And then we keep going up and so on, right? What's it called? we break out of it. So if you look to the left of the chart, the 15-minute should be your favorite chart because of the algorithm referencing the 15-minute very well. The 15-minute time frame is very accurate, or I should say more refined versus the higher time frames. But yes, it can get muddy on there too. That's why we do use the 1 through the 5-minute chart, right? But the 15-minute is going to be your go-to. So in that case, as you can see, when we bust through like this 930 candle, we bust right through, right? You see, we bust right through that red level, that high, and that high right there. Oh, I was supposed to draw that right there too. Let me just copy it. I'm gonna put it right there. So as you see, when you bust through, this is momentum traders, right? Can get very profitable doing it this way. But remember, it's a great way to attack it because we know that the algorithm is going to come back and rush for it. That's why these red levels I'm just showing you are that, right? So what do? We push above here, and then we come right back in down with this 934 candle. Look at the body sitting at the 50%. This right here is already giving you order flow to the upside. Then this candle, this 935, pushes up, right? So you got the flow. You already got flow right there, right? So what do? We push up, all right, with these breakaway candles right here. All right, we come back, and then we come back and we break through that high over here, and it's sitting right there at the opening of the gap of today. So what do? We speaker out a little bit. So we come down, we push back up for a raid, we come back down. We're getting into this imbalance right here. It was a dark color first, but then I used it later for, as you'll see, the trade that I'm going to show you for selling. But then what do we do? We respect that level. We push up, right? And then we get to this gap right here. And then now I'm ready at 10 o'clock. So this is 10 o'clock here. Keep in mind, look at the 10 o'clock candle. The 1 minute candle does not have a wick at all. Plus, we broke through. Look at the 15-minute. As you see, this candle, this 15-minute candle, 945, pushes up and closes right there. See that? So when we pushed up, this candle, this right here, we're busting through, okay? And then we come up, and then we come right back to that broken level. So now it's an immediate rebalance, meaning that we broke through and it sealed price immediately. That's what this red level is for, that original red level. All the rest of them are for breakout traders. But this level specifically, I'm showing you that it came back to re-seal it. It sealed it perfectly, actually. So with that being the case, I'm going to show you the first trade I take. So here, this 10 o'clock, we pushed up right here. All right, and then we tag the gap right there. All right, so I actually take a sell here originally, and then it comes down into this imbalance. That's why it's blue. And then we pushed up and we rated. I'm like, oh, okay, so I know that we just took out that liquidity because it's going to either sell from it's either going to sell from below this high or it's going to sell from above this high, right? So, and I understand I dragged out the red line. I know that that's a possibility, but I also know that it might not hit it. So this is how I approach the day with this. So anyways, my goal was just to get right back to this level right here as you see it outlined. I've already got it drawn out, and then that's an immediate rebalance right there. So it seals the price. Notice I also have the break here. Notice I also have this fucking beautiful circle, this green level. And why do I have that? Why do I have that? Why do I have this level marked? Specifically this one. Why? Think about that for a second. And I'm already outlining it as this is as being a target. So what did the price does? It raids, comes down. I finally get a nice trade, take out the profit, done for that trade. Guess what? Price ends up reversing back. Why do I get out here? Well, because it has two lows. So I first took the low by sealing it, and then it comes back down once again, and it takes out that low. Now I was going to buy here, but I wasn't in the right mindset and I couldn't do it. But this is explaining this trade. So then Guess what the price does? All right, pushes all the way up. Now we get to that big weekly previous week low or resistance or whatever you want to call it, right? And now we're up here. Now, when the price, this first candle right here, it first tags up and takes out that liquidity. All right, or not, well, it seals the price, right? And then I try to get in, and then this next candle pops up and it takes me out. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm right back in. I'm right back in because I fucking know where we're going. Why am I circling this area for where? Why am I holding for this? Why am I trying to go for this direction? Can you see it? Can you see it? Well, I kind of hover it, but the 15-minute right here, the 15-minute, that level right there, that 15-minute candle, that is a 15-minute candle. It's an open. As you see here, I'm going to delete this now. It has no wick. Take a look at that. Take a look at this 8:30 a.m. data low, data open, I should say. Doesn't have no wick. So when you look on the 1 minute, you'll see that, which is we're speaking about the 8:30 specifically 1 minute candle, has no wick. Now this I wasn't holding for this one because this is not part of that 15-minute analysis that we're discussing here. So what do? Let me go back to it. Fucking beautiful. So price wicks up right there. Now we already have divergence right here. See that? We have a divergence here. Pretty clear. This one over here is the same level as this one. So, and it's a little bit actually higher than this one. So right here, this was a good sell just to rebalance, but not for like the trade that I'm talking about. But for here, now we have not only taken out liquidity, we have reached and sealed that price from the previous week low. It's a week low, previous week low. And then also now right here, you can see that we are lower price action on the indicator here than here, right? So this is a beautiful, beautiful divergence right here. And then let me go through it. So the price, you can see as we pump right here through with this candle, since we break this high with this candle, I expect this to turn around and be a future inversion imbalance, meaning not to buy from there, but to use it as an inverse candle. And watch, as you see, we come down, we push back up with this candle right here, this little one, with this bullish one. What does it do? There's a little imbalance in between. You see that? I got it highlighted. I have it highlighted. If you're on a phone, zoom in or whatever, but I have it highlighted right here with the red color. And you can see that we're tapping in. Bodies, price doesn't breach above it. Beautiful. All right. And then price shoots down. Comes back up. Look at it. Test. Now you can see algorithmically working. On the 30-second, it was even more clear, but just to speak on the 1 minute, you can see that we're bumping up against this area, right? You can see it 1, 2, 3 times, even 4. So, and then what do we have in the background? We have that gap that we've been dealing with, that I've been talking about. Watch yesterday's video so you know which one I'm talking about. It was in May. And sure enough, we're sitting there bumping against that. Beautiful. What do? Then I drag this next imbalance. So while we're coming down, I'm using this to inverse. I'm expecting price to not hold. Guess what? We're not even getting bumps anymore. We're getting big candles. We're getting, they're rushing for liquidity. They're rushing to wipe out all these people buying. And sure enough, this blue one right here, I didn't, not blue one, but this imbalance, I didn't even have to drag it. I didn't even have to use it. There was no price action. It was just falling right through. It was just, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, is this thing just going to keep falling? And then, but I had already understood what we were doing. And then sure enough, what do? We come through, all right? We get to this inversion, to this imbalance. Now inversion, you see that? We get into that. I drag it out already. While it's coming down here and sure to take a look, the body hold. It comes outside the lines, whatever, but holds the price beautifully right there. And then what do? We shoot down. All right, and we come right back up into this imbalance right here, dragged it out. You see the bodies being contained right close to the 50%. Yes, we color out the lines a little bit, but then we push down, and then we're holding it. I also have this as a imbalance, as a bearish imbalance, as you can see that. So I have that coupled with the inversion imbalance right there, and I want to see price hold it right here. If it's going to keep going higher, then that's not the trade. It's not panning out. But sure enough, it is. So no worries here. Holding on to my belief and my instinct. And then sure enough, we come back, we poke back in, and then we have another inversion imbalance right here. This blue one, this little candle that pushed up right here. This candle that pushed up, you can see it as it's falling down, comes underneath it, respecting it. Boom, starts shooting right now. I was like, yo, I was kind of fucking jumping up and down when this was going on. Definitely clearing here. All right, and then we get to here. Now look how I do this. Look at, so projection from here to here, you can see that we're between the 1 and the 1.5, right? I don't expect it to take out all these lows and break out. I had to make a good decision. I do know that this was my minimum target, and what's underneath that candle? 50% of the daily imbalance right here. See that? See the 50% right here? See that? Look how the you can see it in the faint the line of the actual price. See how it's like dotted yellow? I should probably make it darker. But you see how it's yellow. Look how I take a picture right on the 50% of that daily imbalance. Why did I take it to here? Because we've bought 1,000,000 times on that level. We're not busting through it. I'm not saying we're bearish. I'm not saying we're bullish. I'm just saying that this level is very, very sensitive, right? And they're referring to that constantly. So look how it comes right to the last second and hits that 50%. I take out the trade almost. I think this is like my third biggest trade ever. It probably is my second, I think. But and on my 2-year anniversary, man. But I take it out here because of this situation. I've already accomplished hitting that no wick level and this 50%. And beautiful, man. But take a look. Look what happens when we hit that level, which is, I'm literally right here. I'm taking the picture right there. What do? We push all the way back up from that moment. Look at that. Look at that. Look how perfect that is. Comes all the way back. Look at these people. So what do? They came all the way back. Now let's take a look at the 15-minute real quick, just so I can kind of be done. So when we shot through, as you see these red levels, we shot through it, right? And we kept going up. We first sealed it with this one, right? So that's the first trade I showed you. So I'm gonna delete that. We sealed it. Then we pushed up, and then we broke through that low that we made, and we broke through. Look how we broke through. Does not touch it, all right? And then we come all the way down. The reason why I'm showing this red level here is because this is momentum trading. You can attack the momentum trading. People, the price comes all the way up. Look how it tags that same level to the tick right here. I'm talking about this high right here, not that high. This high. Look how we first come to it perfectly. All right. So they did that that's to show you that they're coming to. But then, yes, of course, it can go. It can raid again and go up. Why would they do that? Well, to take out the people who tried to sell right there again. So they saw the price come in, and then they start to sell here. But then they bump it up again one more time, and then they get a little bit deeper for people who are breakout traders here. And this is a fake raid, and then a fake momentum, and then they bring the price down, drag them in, and the people who have buy stops here, plus the people who have sell stops here. Not sell stops. What's it called? The people who have buy stops here to get into a momentum trade from here, and then to wipe out the people who are also holding in here with maybe a stop loss like right here or something, right? If they sold here and they have a stop loss here, well, they're like, oh, well, it didn't get us out. We made it, and then boom, they get them, right? So multiple reasons, plus then the price comes down to wipe out these buyers, right? And look what it does. So it retraces back right here, and then hits the opening of the day of 9:30, and then does that rate, right? Shoots up, then comes back down, and it's just going sideways, right? So we don't know which way it's going, but fucking beautiful day, man. I'm proud of myself for making that decision, and I don't know what else I could say. It's just an amazing feeling, man. I swear. But my instinct is what got me it, and then also obviously having no wick right there. Now I'm not saying every single candle that doesn't have a wick you should start attacking it or something, or waiting for it to get hit. But at the same speaking, it is a good tool. It is good to know and use. So anyways, we get to the 1 to the 1.5 right here, and we don't even make it. And sure enough, we retrace, and that's where we are. So now with this, I just talked about this breakout level. Then we come down, and then I could do much more here, and then to show you, once we broke up this high, what do? We push right through it, right? We push right through it, and you get this big space in between this price action. Look back at the 15-minute, which is coupled with the opening gap of today. Sure enough, when they raid this, they come right back down to it. And then when they get here, take a look. Is it a coincidence that when they got here, they these big strong candles kick in, like very fast, like completely slow, boom, right? They don't want you to get out because they know you're trying to get into this trade, or you're in trades here, right? And wipe them out. So dirty. But let me see. I've explained all that, and then when the price was up here, coming back down to here, take a look at this high right here. When we busted through, you can see it on the 15-minute very clear. That's this 9 a.m. 15-minute candle. Look at this high right here. Look at this high right here, on the 1 minute. I'm gonna zoom out, and I'll be done with this. See, look at this candle, this 9:10 candle. Look at the high up there, up here. Look at the high here. It's going to be 18,917 and a quarter. 18,917 and a quarter. So 917 and a quarter. Look at the low right here when we came right back down. What's the low? 18,917 even. Right? So by one tick, it goes below that high, right? So, and the algorithm is just referencing that breakout, right? So, and then you can see, look at the bodies here. Look at the bodies sitting at the 25%, the high is 75%, whatever level you want to call this, right? We'll say the top 25%, right? And then so on, right? Busting through. But beautiful, man. Let me what was I gonna say? So dollar also playing around. It did create a bearish day, so that's keeping us still afloat. And if we're still coming down here, then that's gonna kind of start to push us up slowly, right? If they rebound here, like this little inversion imbalance, if this holds, and that's a shift, and we go back up for another drive up, then we'll start to see lower prices, I am assuming. So here with some divergence work here, when we had lower highs here with Dow, right? And then this was confirming the ride down, and also confirming the sells here. You can see that we have lower highs from here to here also. So in between these highs, we have higher highs here, and this is why I also take this sell at the top. Way too much confluence at that level, and so on. So we took the sell down, and then also for me getting out where I got out, I did notice that we had a higher low here, and sure enough, we had lower lows with S&P and Dow, and it was a great fucking decision to take it out right here. Very, very good, because I really was going to hold it to try to break through the lows. I was really going to do it. And I was like, bro, you're going to take it out. You're going to take it out. You're going to take it out. I'm like, bro, this is a $24,000 trade. Who cares? And because plenty of times that in my experience that we won't break through, and sure enough, it's a good level, which is that daily 50% of that imbalance. So I did not take the chance, and sure enough, I made the right decision. I'm very proud of myself because you understand, like I've went through so much hell of trying to make better decisions in my trading over the years, and sure enough, it's just paying off. But here you can see that we also continue with a higher low here, more strength for it to push back up, and here you had lower lows again. Here, lower lows with S&P and Dow, and sure enough, that pushed our price up, right? So this is where we are as we're speaking, and let's go through how long I've been doing this. 25. So as you see, Dow decided to come down hard and wipe out some of that liquidity, tap this gap right here from July 21st right here. So nice reaction back up, but I don't know. Shit's looking pretty ugly, dude. Like again, I'm moving. I don't know. I'm treading lightly, but at the same time, like you're like, well, how are you treading lightly if you took that big trade? Well, because I don't know. I just my instinct, man. I mean, like it's consolidating. It's moving up and down, right? So I'm expecting this type of price action. I actually like consolidating price action. To be honest, it's so easy to me. But and then what do? We have another bearish day. It looks like it's slithering down. Look here. Look, just like when we were slithering up right here. See how these highs right here? See how they make a foundation and then they start to move up, but the daily candles are like just small, but they're still bullish and they're still showing order flow. If I transfer over here, you can see it right now. I'm expecting this to happen here because take a look at these 2 days right here. So we had this 2 bearish days, right? And we're sort of slithering down this way. Not as clean as this though. And if you take a look at S&P, it's this, not S&P, Dow is not Dow, Nas, very similar, right? We had those 2 days, right, that we continued back up right there, and then we just pushed up, right? And then from here, looks like we're slithering the same way, right? But this is not as clean, to be honest. That's why I'm fucking neutral, dude. But the order flow is bearish. I mean, there's no question about that. There's no fucking question about that. But this is also September, so we do expect a speaker where it shakes out both sides of the market, where it pushes up from here and then it comes back down, right? And then closes, and then the fourth quarter pushes up, right? So, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I don't know. For some reason, these bulls ain't over though. I mean, not with Nas. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's late to the party. I don't know. I don't really care. I do know that the bonds is moving up slowly though, but they're moving up, and yields are still moving down, which they faked the funk, and they because at first yields were coming down. I'm sorry, yields were going up, and vice versa with bonds, but for some reason they are now yields are facing down and bonds are facing up. So do they peter out here? That's something to watch for and use with your confluence. But beautiful tag, as you can see here on a 1 hour. You can see when we hit here, we were at this imbalance right here, right? But we also had an imbalance right in there. See that? So we tag it, but see in between. See this 1 a.m. Not 1 a.m. 1 p.m. This 1 p.m. candle, this 1300 candle on Tuesday right here. See how it's like clean breakthrough, and we came up and we sealed that, and we got into this upper wick, which is this supply wick. So this rejection wick, this 1 o'clock I'm still talking about. See how we tag in and we just barely go. I mean, the next level would be 50%. If it's going higher than this, then we would really be moving up. But this, as you can see here, this is holding that price like as a resistance, right? I hope that makes sense. So I feel like I'm missing something. Ooh, they just shot down hard. That's crazy. Didn't they? Look at that. Oh. Yeah. Okay, watch them do it now. fucking dicks. So, and what am I talking about? I'm talking about taking out these lows, these equal lows, because this low here that we made at what time was that exactly? This low that we made at exactly 8:24, that did not take out. That did not take out this low here. All right, from Tuesday. It did not take out that low. So because of that, this is why the order flow went this way, right? So we're literally consolidating, but then at the same time, like we don't have a raid here. That's why I think the bottom side isn't done. Because if you were to reverse, you should be raiding. You should be having some type of raid here. And so to me, this is just prices coming down. It's consolidating, and it will slither and continue back lower. So, but if you are wondering why it didn't take that low out, what's the low here? I know it didn't take it out. Let me make sure. 825 and 3/4, 825 and 3/4, 827 and 3 1/4. So just by like a point and a half or whatever the hell it is, it did not take it out. Correct. So they've built, and this is ugly though. I mean, this is not your you don't expect price not to take it out. I mean, it's like they built this shit is super ugly for them to turn back up. That's dirty. That's super dirty. But the thing is, it's like they don't want you to get in. I mean, they're also, yes, they're building liquidity, but at the same time, they can be doing it not to get you in because of the fact that if they do push up and they do break for a higher leg just until the rate announcements happen in September this month, then, that's just logical too. So again, I'm neutral. I mean, I don't fucking care, bro. Like, I didn't have to have a bias to be able to trade this, like, at all. So, but in general speaking, this should be a consolidation, and then we would roll down and continue. If it's going to reverse, you would expect at least a raid down here and then pop back up. So I know I've talked too much. You guys take care and God bless.